Hi, my name is Sunny Tran, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this training right now. And this is something that's very valuable for you. And this training is basically marketing on autopilot. The number one thing that you need is leads, and you need to be consistently calling and following up on customers. Because if you're not, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. And what would happen to your business if you would consistently, religiously, and effectively follow up all your prospects and customers? It will blow up. And that's one of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you about today. That's number one. And there's 5 secrets to like getting those type of leads is that you have to cherry pick, and there's 3 types of leads. And those cherry picking, what I mean is like there's hot, warm, and cold, right? So what most people do is they only call their hot leads and they're like, okay, let's make that sale happen and everything, or they follow up with that. And that's it. They neglect their warm leads, and then they and never ever call even like the cold leads. So one of the different secrets is the hot leads are ready now. What that means is you got to contact them immediately. And in real estate, you have to contact them within the first 6 minutes when the lead comes in. Why? Because they're thinking about real estate and all those things. And then when they're thinking about it, you got to just move that momentum, because most decisions are actually made emotionally and they are justified logically. Okay. So your warm leads are ones that are not ready right now, but they will be soon. So the key to that is don't neglect them, warm them up. Like, hey, I'm not ready. So let's use real estate again as the example. I'm not ready to buy now. But maybe next month when I save up my down payment or however, it's either down payment, credit, or the last thing is they're not sure what they can qualify or afford for. So then they need to talk to like a loan officer or someone that's qualified and licensed to help them with that. Okay. So what you need is a sequence that will follow up and warms like, oh, you're not ready for a house now? Well, when you're looking and ready, just let us know and then give them helpful information using real estate again as the example. What I mean by helpful information is like, hey, there's a bunch of houses and houses prices are increasing in your neighborhood. Oh, this new house went in the market, and you're just sending them relevant information, what they're looking for however you generated that lead. And then the third is cold or bad leads, a lot of people call it. But the nice thing with cold leads is all they need is warming up. So if you already got their email address or you got some form of information, you can reach out to them, just warm them up and give them more facts like, hey, buying homes, example, and using homes again, buying homes right now would be good because it's a good tax deduction. Take advantage of it. Hey, you just got your tax refund check. You can use this towards a down payment. Why rent when you can own? And then one of the stories that we use is like, typically, do you own or rent your car? Right? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, do you have a lease or are you making payments? Like, oh, I have a lease. That means you're renting. So after 3 years, 5 years, whenever you have your lease time, you don't own anything, right? But if you own and you're paying your mortgage, even though the payment is higher, just like you made a car payment, it's like $500 when you can lease a car for like 199 or so. But after that 5 year time period, you still have to pay them back and you still make a down payment, and you're making these different payments. While after 5 years, if you made a little bit of a higher car payment on it, you own it. You don't have any more car payments. See? So that's a way that maybe you can warm up the leads. So just have a strategy that you can warm them up. Um, and again, do not just focus on your hot leads. Your warm leads can get cold if you only work the hot leads. Do not forget about it because there's a lot of money on the table there. So that's the number one. Cherry pick and choose whatever hot leads, warm leads, and cold. Start segmenting them and then send them different follow-up sequences. Okay. Number two is timing is everything. What they mean by that is people buy when they're ready to buy, not when you're ready to sell them. Okay. So you have to have the follow-up sequences, and the follow-up sequences will allow time. And earlier we talked about cherry picking, right? Well, the cold leads, you have long follow-up sequences. The warm leads, you might have a shorter follow-up sequence. The hot is like, you got to contact them right now, okay? So timing is everything. Again, you may want to sell someone something, they're not ready. It's not the time. It doesn't mean that, hey, you stop following up. You just need to do it now. Number three is you need to integrate your sales and marketing. And that's one of the things that Yellow Label CRM really helps you do. What happens is, like Brian Dice spoke it perfectly at GrowthCon 3, I believe, in Miami, with Grant Cardone. And what he said is like the new marketer is a salesperson that became the marketing. And what he means by that is because there's this war between sales and marketing. Sales is typically closing a sale, while marketing is getting the prospects to raise their hand saying, hey, I would like to buy your thing. And then this nurturing is the thing that's kind of missing in a lot of things. And that's where the sequences or follow-up is really important to get to the sale part, okay? So again, marketing's job is to get the leads while sales is to close the leads, okay? And what this does with the CRM is we help you close the gap between marketing and sales. And if it's not our CRM, you can use your own CRM. Just make sure that with that, there's a follow-up with that. And if you're going to hire a marketing company, make sure that they're doing their job, and then sales is doing their job by integrating, because then you can communicate with each other. Because the war that Ryan Dice talked about is that a lot of times the marketer is like, hey, salesperson, you suck at what you do because you're not following up enough. And the salesperson said, your leads are bad because they're not following up enough. So it's kind of like both of the things. But the thing is how they understand each other. It's like marketing's job, again, to raise the hand. Sales job is to close them. But then the bridge between the two is actually nurturing the lead. And that's very, very important. So when it comes in, so that is actually, that job of nurturing is a combination of both marketing and sales and communication. And when you both can work together in harmony rather than always at war, because many the jobs and companies that I had before, sales and marketing always were at war with each other, and because of that specific thing. Leads suck, and then the marketer's like, you're not following up enough. And that's usually at the end of it. Well, this is the way you help answer it. Sequences and follow-up. Automated follow-up as well as a salesperson following up by making phone calls, text messaging, emailing, and answering questions, because a salesperson is always going to be better in automatic. Automatic's job is just to get the customer to respond, while a salesperson's job is now, after they responded, to take that, because now they respond, it's actually warm or hot, depending on how the response is. And the salesperson now is supposed to close that by giving them custom information. So with that, integrate your sales and marketing, there's 5 tracks. Number 1, you have to send relevant, valuable information to prospects regularly, frequently, and consistently. So regularly means you send in a certain amount of time or whatever. Frequently is like send them a lot. Consistently is like, hey, keep on doing it and don't give up. Because the more you do it, the more you're getting that message. As they say in marketing a lot of times, has to register in someone's mind about 17 times before they start making that decision. And one of the things that I actually learned in learning is that with that decision is a lot of times people, when you get a new thing, you automatically reject whatever new information is. Your brain, you're learning that from like way back primitive time. So what happens is after they say it the second time, it's like, oh, maybe that might work. Third time, maybe that might work more. Does it work for you? But maybe it might work for me. Maybe, possibly. So that's when there's different levels of that. So just keep that in mind. So you need to close the gap between marketing and sales. So that is one of the ways how to do it. Understanding what your prospect is thinking, how they're thinking, and why they need the information. Number 2 is you need to communicate with the prospects efficiently, aside from normal time-consuming one-on-one. What I mean by efficiency is that, hey, sometimes instead of doing the one-on-one phone call and things like that, you might send an email, send a quick text message, something that's a little faster, so like that can answer a quick question that they're needed. Because one-on-one is very time consuming, but if you had a system that can automatically send it out, like with your CRM, it could totally save you a bunch of time with that, because it can send what they need. It can schedule the calendar. So that's another thing. If you have one of those automatic booking appointment things, something definitely in use. And you don't have to contact them, look at your calendar. It's automatically done. And what the booking calendars that you can do is that you can actually have that set and block out time that you have for other things. So like that doesn't automatically book you. You can set it 24 hours in advance. You can do it a week in advance, a day in advance, 2 days, 3 days, whatever fits your style, okay? And log all communications with the prospects in the office in an organized fashion. What I mean is like, what that is like, there's usually like a sales pipeline. And what happens with the pipeline is we have prospect, and then they respond. Then we take them to the next chain funnel, which is like, hey, they responded. Now send them sequences of that. Then after they respond, be like, hey, would you like to set up an appointment? Then that's your next automatic like booking. So now it's kind of like a process and it's organized. And it's like, hey, they have questions about things. Did I answer them? And did they get back to me? If not, let's have a follow-up. Hey, I didn't get back to them. They didn't ask any other questions. Let me ask them, do you have any further questions a few days later? Having that in an organized fashion. So like that, it is now a process, which does not need just a salesperson. It's a machine or automation that you have that can set and do these things, and help you basically make more sales automatic. Arm yourself and your sales reps with an arsenal of specific information on request. So give your sales reps information that they can just give out freely whenever customers ask, so that they don't have to create something new. Again, process. When you have that, that'll make more things automated, which means you can close more sales, because the job to make more money is basically having lots of prospects and have your sales follow up in some type of manner where that way you can close more and have a system that can show it's effective. And how you can rate that is based on how your closing rates are on a lot of your previous experiences with customers. You need to track the process of each lead through the sales pipeline. Always know where each of your leads stands. And by doing that, you have different funnels or pages, or even a Google sheet that you can integrate inside your CRM. They're at this stage, beginning. They're this stage, they're a little bit ready, more buy. They're in this stage, they're a little bit warmer. This stage, they're really hot. I got to get to them now and close them, you know? The fourth pillar is that you must have a breathing, living customer database. What I mean by that is that you have to have a database of the customers and where they are. So customers that close business with you before are going to be your best customers. Figure out how you can sell them more product or how you can help them. Think about like, hey, if someone bought like a widget from you, what's the next step? And you can give them the next step, because every time you solve a problem, there's always another problem that needs to be solved. Just like how people that I work with, a lot of times they use ClickFunnels as their web page building software. Well, you didn't know you needed copy. You didn't know you needed traffic. You didn't know you needed web page. You don't know that you needed video. You don't know that you needed, you know, sales copy, ad copy, and all these things until you actually got ClickFunnels. Once you got the web landing page software, it's like, man, I need a CRM. I need all these different things like advertising. I need marketing. I need message. I need to have beautiful web pages. I need to have beautiful video. I need to understand sequences and follow-up. You see, all these things, they come, and that's kind of like the cool part. Having all that in that fashion will help you. And you don't want to rely heavily on outside marketing. Again, you maximize your referrals and repeat business of customers that you already have, because you don't waste time chasing down leads and convincing them on why they should do business with you. Your best customers are your customers you already have. You can ask them for referrals and things like that. That will help you get more sales. You need to be proactive with this. And that gives you on the top of mind consciousness. What that means is you're always in your customers' minds. And when you're in their minds, what happens? They think of you whenever they need a solution to a problem that you may solve, and do it in an organized, effective way, and have your follow-up that's effective. So also organize that in meaningful like groups. What I mean by groups is like a lot of the different customers that I help in the niches I help. You know, I have a tax business, I have a mortgage business, I have a real estate lead generation business, and we actually help marketers do more lead generation. We help salespeople do marketing. So you see how they cross with each other? Have them in different groups and then give them the advice and information they need, right? So in information on education, right? So this is the fifth pillar. So education, you want to give that to your prospects to learn what it is that you're selling, your widget or whatever it is. And my space is like real estate, and I'm just giving them advice on the home buyers. Like, hey, how would you like to purchase a home? It's a good tax deduction. That's one thing. Like, look at what the codes are like. You know, now's a good time to buy because housing prices are low. Here's a housing price market. It's actually going up. And here's what interest rates are. They're really good right now. So, you know, if you're renting for this much and you can buy and pay a small down payment, and this much is actually lower than your rental cost, isn't that worth it? And you get to own it. So you see, having that and educating the customer is important. The reason is because typically most businesses do business like this. They buy a bunch of leads, right? They give the leads to the salespeople. And then with the salespeople, the salespeople only call and find the hot ones, the ones that are like, oh, kind of ready to buy now. And they don't do anything with the warm. They don't do anything with the cold leads. So you're leaving money on the table. Don't do it, you know? And the salespeople, when they do that, they neglect that, they throw away. And then this process just goes on. You buy more leads and you just like, hey, just close the hot deals. No. And that is why you need to have some type of process for all of this, so you can do more business, and then you can educate your customers from the cold and the warm to make them hot. Walk them through the chain, because, you know, there's hot. That means they're ready to buy now. They have all the information they need. Maybe they need a little bit more to get them over the edge. The warm leads is like they need a little bit more information to understand why they should buy. You know what I mean? And how. While the cold leads is that they have no idea they want to buy, but they're kind of interested in whatever it is you're offering. And it's just like one of those spur of the moment things. Remember, most decisions are made emotionally and they're justified logically. So what that means is have a follow-up sequence to justify logically why this works, you know? So education, inform the customers, communicate that you're on their side and you can be trusted, give them valuable information that is related to what they're looking for in the marketplace, help serve them information and they will appreciate it. Repetition, humans tend to hear things over and over and over again, and then it becomes ingrained in them. And because we know that that's how it works, just like we spoke about marketing, how it shows up, you got to do it like 17 times before they hear the message. Keep on doing it, repetition. And the cool thing is you should be able to do it in different channels. Like if you're running marketing and ads, you can do something called retargeting on Facebook. You can send automated sequences through email. You can do dimensional. You can send some things through the bot, through Messenger. You know, you can send things through doing video with that, you know. So there's different channels. Utilize all of them. You can call them. You can leave them a voicemail. You know, you can send them a video message. All these things are pretty cool. We have technology now. Before, you only can do one way. That's meet someone face to face. And actually, that's the most effective. You can meet them face to face. Yes, do it. Right now, you know, so just think about that. Okay. So variety, have different things. So consistently tell the message and follow up on delivery in different ways. Do it multi-step. If you can, again, like all those different ways that I just talked to you about, you can do it. If you have to do it to Instagram, that's a different follow-up method. Some people respond a different way because people learn different ways too. There's auditory people that like to listen. They learn. There's people that's visual. They have to see it to know it. And then there's people that, hey, if they hear it, they see it, or they can visualize it or write it down, that works as well too. So the third step to this and the proven traffic method that we have that helps us generate up to 40% appointment rates without spending any money on ads is called database reactivation. Why it's called that is because people only do business with people that they know, like, and trust, right? So if they're doing business with that, the key to that is working with people that you already know. And if you have a database of customers that you have already, that you worked with in the past, and also customers or prospects that you already did a lot of marketing to, they know who you are. Basically now the key is to send them a good offer. What I mean by that is in real estate, the offer that we're sending people is that we are going to give them a free homes list. And since we send it, they're like, oh, that's almost irresistible. It's free. All I need is your email address or however, and then we can get that going. And for realtors that we do marketing for, what we do is we use our CRM system to power up their database. They plug into our database and our database will send out good offers for what they're doing. So the realtors, hey, they want these homes lists for their prospects that they talked to before, they have their email address and things like that. We send it to them and then that re-engages them with that. And they're like, oh, I want the new homes list. And starting that whole process, boom, you're going to have sales. And then you get the person on the phone and then you follow up. And what we've seen is between 15 to 40% is what the engagement is when people taking you up on the offer. In the gym space, what's really cool about that is that we use that for them giving a free, basically consultation, use the gym for free for a little bit, a certain amount of time. And then how you research this for your industry to make it work for you is that you go on Groupon and then you find out what's going on out there in in the space that you're doing and see what offers are out there and what people are selling. You see who buys the most of that offer and be like, okay, try it. And if that doesn't work, then you try a different one and a different one. But what you do need is you need a very powerful and good CRM system that you can push to send out these type of mailers. And you also need a good web page or funnel that redirect it to give the offer. And a lot of times you can do it through video and all these other different forms of communication. Maybe it's through copy, writing the words, but we have proven systems that can work for that. And you just got to research your industry and your business. And that is the key. And that's a trick. And you do it without ad spend. Why is without ad spend? Because it's customers that like, know, and trust you already. All you got to do now is give them something that they want. It's that simple. And if we can help you certainly with that, then let us know. And we can definitely set up a phone call or consultation so that we can help you with that and how you can use our system to power this awesome product or thing that can make it where you don't have to actually pay money for ads. And that's one of the keys and revolutions in making things. And we have an automated booking system that you can get that done with your calendar. All right. If you need any more help with us, let us know.